Today, I'm gonna show you how to make this super cool optical illusion type end table with just two 2x4s and then one other small scraps from a 2x4. So let's go. This thing is super cool and really trippy, and it's really easy to make. So it just took two 2x4s and then 27 inches of another 2x4. So that's about $8–10 bucks worth of wood, and I'm gonna sell it for 100. Let me show you how to build it step by step. Let's go. So the first thing we're gonna do is take one of the full 2x4s and take it over to the miter saw. At the miter saw, we're gonna cut one piece that is 18 inches long, then two pieces that are 12 inches long, and two pieces that are 23 3/8 inches long. So we got one at 18 inches, two at 12 inches, and we've got two at 22.5 inches long. So now we're gonna take all 5 of those pieces over to the table saw. We're gonna take off that rounded edge on one of the sides, and then we're gonna rip them all down to 1.5 inches. So you'll end up with 2 pieces from each of these 5 that are 1.5 inches wide and 1.5 inches thick. So we got all those ripped down, so now they are all 1.5 inches wide by 1.5 inches thick. So now we're gonna take our pieces that are 22.5 inches long, and we're gonna cut them down to look like this. This, from tip to tip, is 20.5 inches. We've got one angle on this side cut at 36 degrees, and this one is cut at 54 degrees. You'll notice that this one is 22.5 inches long. This one is only 20.5 inches long because you screw up sometimes. We decided to leave some wiggle room on there, you know, just in case you don't get the full cut. You gotta go back and take like half a blade's length off it. All right, there we have them. 54-degree angle on one side, 36-degree angle on the other. That equals 90 if you add those together, right? Now you're gonna take one of all of those 3 different cuts, and you're just gonna go ahead and put them all together and make a triangle. So how we're actually gonna get this put together is, first things first, we're gonna put a pocket hole on the bottom here, since you won't see this, right through there with our pocket hole jig. Then we're gonna go ahead and on this joint, we're gonna pre-drill, and then we're just gonna drill a screw up through here, making sure that we have it probably over here so it won't end up going through. And for the joint up here, same thing. We're gonna pre-drill, put a screw in here, as well as some glue on that joint. And then, because you will see this one, we're gonna cover the head of the screw with some wood filler afterwards. So you're gonna take your 12-inch piece and just drill one pocket hole on the bottom side. Do that with all 4. Put the pocket hole facing towards you. Get a good amount of glue on the end grain here. Put those together. Clamp it down to the edge of your workbench. Don't forget that step. And then just sink that pocket hole screw right in there. Now that you've got that L done, now you're gonna put this one in here. So you're gonna go from one angle at a time. So we'll do this top one first. So we're just gonna line it up there, make sure it's flush to that piece. And then we're gonna go down 2 inches, and that's where we're gonna make our pre-drill and then put our screw through there, just so it comes down here a little bit more in the meat of this joint right here. We're using 2 1/4 inch screws, by the way. Should have mentioned that. And do the same thing with this joint down here. So we've got one triangle done. Now, we need to keep building off it. We're gonna take another one of our 12-inch piece that we put the pocket hole in, and we're gonna line this up on the top edge, and then we're gonna screw into that pocket hole so these are secure there. Then we're gonna take another one of our angled cuts, and we're gonna do the same thing right there, and that is gonna be half of your project. Now, when it's still clamped from putting that pocket hole in, now we're just gonna take this piece and we're gonna have it opposite this orientation, obviously. Make sure you measure down 2 inches before you put that screw in. That way you won't be messing with the pocket hole in here. And then again, over here, just drive that screw up through the bottom. Here you have it, half of your table base. So you're gonna need to do this one more time with the remaining pieces you have. So there's a timestamp right here in the video. If you go to that timestamp, it'll be this directions all over again. Follow that again for the second half of the base. You'll end up with 2 of those, and then I'll show you how to put them all together, make the top and bottom. But go ahead, make that again. So now you're gonna take your remaining 2x4s and you're gonna cut them down to 13.5 inches. You're gonna end up with 9 of those, and then we're gonna rip them down to 3 inches wide, and then I went ahead and planed them just to get them a little bit flatter, but you don't have to if you don't want to. So here's all 9. You're gonna take one of them, I choose you, and we're just gonna rip this right in half, so there'll be 2 pieces that are 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches. All right, we've got our 2 pieces cut. Just gonna slide that in the middle of those 4, and then slide that one in the middle of those 4. Now just go ahead and glue these up like you would a cutting board. So we went ahead and let those dry overnight. Now I'm just taking the clamps off and they're looking pretty good. Now we just gotta hit them with some sandpaper. So we're starting at 120, then we're gonna make our way up to 220 and finally finish off at 320. Once we do that, it's gonna look something like this. Now what we need to do is square up these edges here. The top and bottom edges are fine, but these two sides here, those need to be squared up a little bit. So how we're gonna do that is we're gonna grab our legs, and then we're gonna put our piece down with it perpendicular to the workbench, and these legs are gonna sit on these long pieces here, on the edge of these long pieces. So we're just gonna line them up, place them, and you see that there's a little bit extra material on this base piece, which is perfect because that's on the side that we're gonna square up anyways. So we're just gonna make a mark right there. And then we're gonna take this over to the miter saw and we're gonna chop as little of this off as we can. The one thing you gotta make sure you do is don't take too much off right off the bat. So like half a blade's length will be fine. Just go ahead and guess and check. So you have those two lengths perfect. So now these edges line up perfectly right there. No overlap on either of the pieces. Now we're gonna go ahead and sand those edges that we just cut. We just put some sandpaper on a block of walnut. I don't know why we used walnut. But yeah, sand 120, 220, 320. And then if you haven't, you should sand your legs too. We did that while these were gluing up, but make sure you sand your legs to 320 as well, or 220. You can do 220, but we did 320. I don't know, it looks nicer, it's softer. This step is completely optional, but we're just gonna put a 1/4 inch round over on the top because we think it'll look nice. All right, let's put this thing together. You're gonna grab one set of legs and then your bottom base, and you're just gonna line it up, like I said, along those longer pieces. And then we're gonna put some glue, clamp it down, 2 clamps, one here, one here. Grab your other leg, and you're just gonna offset these. So where this diagonal is coming up to the right, this diagonal is coming up to the left. You can throw some screws in this if you want to. I don't think we're going to. Maybe we will, I don't know. But you can just put a couple screws in there since this is your bottom and no one will see it. We put screws in it, because why not? Now, we need to make another, no, I'm kidding. We'll put the top on. Go ahead, just put the glue on these two tops of the legs and put the top on and clamp it just like you did the bottom. All right, here it is. Let's get some stain on. We're gonna use some honey walnut because we love honey walnut at Fish Over Chicks Woodworking. Real quick, when I'm staining this, I just want to give a big shout out to Boondock Builds. Go show him some love. He's another woodworker here on YouTube.
What's up, YouTube? My name's Jamie, and welcome to another episode of Boondock Builds.
He's doing some great stuff, some scrap wood projects, some quick sellers. Go give him a sub and watch his videos. He's doing awesome stuff over there. So shout out to you, Jamie. You're killing it. But yeah, let's finish the thing up. Here it is. I think it looks cool when it's spinning. Yeah, that is the project, and yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's technically an optical illusion, but it sure looks like it to me. So yeah, 100 bucks, easy seller. I can't wait to get the thing on Marketplace and start patching them out if I get some sales on them. But yeah, that's gonna do it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you make this yourself, shoot us an email at fishoverchickswoodworking@gmail.com. Let us know how it came out for yourself. But that's gonna do it for today's video. If you liked it, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Comment down below any other videos you'd like us to make, and make sure that you subscribe to Boondock Builds. We'll leave a link in the description below. Okay, goodbye. Did you like this video? Did you like this build? I did. If you like that one, check out this cool little end table, which is also funky, and then check out this video over here. That's also a good one.